Hello. I don't know if I'm live or not. I don't know if you can hear me. Anyone? We are live streaming. So sorry about that, guys. I just need to reconnect with live and see if you can see me. I think this is the one, isn't it? Sorry, guys. Again, all times. Wow. Hello again. Hi. Hello. Hello. I don't know when you lost me there, guys, because I was happily pussycutting away, chatting to myself about having dies, coordinating dies, and not wanting to, pussycut. And then I looked up and you'd gone. Hello there. Hi, Lolly Dolly Crafts. Hello. You can see me. Yay. What? So yes, please let me know what was the last thing that I said before everything went. I've literally been having a lovely little conversation with myself about goodness knows what. But at least you didn't have to watch me fussy cut. But I am going to fussy cut these, I think. And I'm fussy cutting the one that I don't think I'm going to use, so I don't know why I'm doing that. But these are just very, very simple images. Because they're just a series of straight lines. Really. And I know we've all said, straight lines might not be a strong suit, but that's definitely cat at the window. 100%. But they are very small straight lines. I got to you saying about your mat and then lost you. Oh, wow. So, well, yeah, so I was saying don't do as I do, which is use my mat for everything, wasn't I? And then I started talking about pussy cutting and about how we do, obviously we try and do a coordinating die set for every stamp set now, because we did do a stamp set. We did the Fairy Garden stamp set and the Hip Hop Parade. Saying that right, aren't I? Stamps without dies, and that was because of Chinese New Year and the manufacturers shutting down during that time frame. So so it was, we didn't really have an option, or it was either that or don't do a release at all. But we did realise with the fairy set that it was so small that actually people really want, and people loved the set, but people really wanted the coordinating dies. So we did end up doing them for that set, which I think was a good shout. Okay, so I have pussy cut these. Whether we use them or not remains to be seen, but I'm definitely going to use the house. The house is cool, and I also need a sentiment, so I think we'll probably do the sentiment next. So I'm just going to pop these guys up out of the way there. And try clearing up my mess a little bit. So for our background, for our scene here, the idea is that we have our house at the front there. So we could actually move him down a little bit and maybe have the sentiment at the top. And then we've got maybe these guys just slotting in the back there. Looks quite cool, doesn't it? Yeah. So maybe the sentiment at the top, or if we were to have that a little bit higher, we could have had the sentiment at the bottom, but I think I'm covering up my backs too much. I don't want to cover them up. So I think we'll probably do it that way around. So sentiment-wise, Petra says, I missed your last words, was concentrate on making my first beaver card. Oh, beaver card. Excellent. Oh, I can't wait to see that, Petra. I cannot wait to see that. So I was just basically rambling, Petra. So I wouldn't worry too much that you missed anything majorly important. But I'm really liking the style of this card. I think it's really, really cool. Like I say, it is inspired by another crafter. I'm not going to claim that this is my idea. What have I done with my stamping platform? But I was in need of some inspiration. I just loved the way this looked, and I knew that I could recreate it with our stuff. So that's what I wanted to do. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope you guys are enjoying how we're making something that's more or less completely from the stencil, rather than the stamp sets. Although I am going to use the sentiment, the rest of it is actually just our space. Is actually just our stencil. So these are going to be a bit tricky to line up because they're sticking to my fingers. I want them to be just above and in the centre there. So encourage them into more or less the right space. And then once I add this, I can use the grid lines on here to help me get them straightened up. So excuse me if my head ends up being in view, just while we try and get these nice and straight. And I'm using the sentiment happy haunting because I do think that goes really quite well with this. Truly straight, but it might be as straight as I'm going to get it. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Quite happy. So because I've had to fold my card base, it is a little bit raised. So I'm just making sure that that's properly creased. And then add some of the VersaFine Onyx Black, and I've just tapped that onto the surface, and then I'm going to add a little bit of pressure. The VersaFine, I think, personally, gives a much better finish and a much brighter stamp. Yeah, I think that looks really quite cool. And I'm not going to risk doing that twice. I could, but I'm not going to. Because I think, like I say, I think it's given a really nice, bright bit of colour without me needing to do it twice. So, pop those back on there. Thanks, guys, for sticking with me. I know that a few of you may have had to leave because we've been on for a while and we've dropped off a couple of times and you might have lost me. So I appreciate you sticking around for this and just crafting along with me, because it's nice to have somebody to talk to while we're crafting and while I'm playing. And it's good to experiment with the software, which is kind of worked, hasn't it? It's kind of worked for the most part. Alison says that my beavers look like they're attacking the dog. I know that I did that on one of mine. It ended up looking like that. It was quite funny. So I'm going to use some foam tape, some foam pads to add a bit of dimension to my house. So let's pop some of these on here. We might have to cut some of these down. It's a tricky shape. Oh. And I want to make sure that we've got plenty of cover for it. So let's trim. So, is anybody else crafting along this evening? Or have you been crafting today? What have you been crafting? If so, I'd love to know. Love to know what you've all been up to. We've had quite a lazy day today because with Aunt working nights and I've been just seem to feel like I've been working non-stop. We wanted to make sure that we did get a little bit of rest in and a bit of time together tonight, because no doubt he'll probably be asleep for half of the day tomorrow before he goes back to work again, bless him. So it was quite nice to just chill and not really have anything to do. And I don't know if you guys saw my story on Instagram, but I made my very first lasagna from scratch, which I was very, very pleased with. Very happy with myself on that one. Yes, indeed. I'm not, to say we run a coffee shop, and I don't know if any of you guys know that, but we did run a coffee shop. And I did all the baking. But I'm not a baker. I don't, although I love to create things, I'm quite a creative person. Well, you would like to think I was a creative person doing this, wouldn't you? But I don't really enjoy cooking. I don't really enjoy baking. But that was my job. I was chief baker in the coffee shop and chief coffee maker. Aunt did all the other cooking. He was the main, I guess you would call him the head chef. But again, he's not a trained chef, doesn't cook, but he makes a mean breakfast. And one of our best sellers were our breakfast. Makes an amazing omelette, makes amazing poached eggs. Yeah, he was great at that. So yeah, so we don't do a lot of cooking now we've not got the shop. We did it because we owned a shop. We owned a tea shop, which was a very successful tea shop, I have to say. We did really well. And we sold it at exactly the right time as well, I have to say. Because obviously so we sold it last August, because I really wanted to spend more time on Time for Tea Designs and doing it full time, because I really felt if I did concentrate on it full time, we would get a lot more from it, and that has proved to be absolutely the case. It's been tremendous, the results. The feedback that we've had since doing it full time. I feel like I want both of those on there. That would look quite cute. So yes, it's for me to make a lasagna is unheard of. Absolutely unheard of. ingredients and stuff. And I think Ant was a bit like, yeah, whatever, this is never going to happen. Those ingredients are going to sit there and never get used. But we're both vegetarian, and we do like the corn mince, and we've got tons of it, absolutely tons of it. But we never seem to make anything with it. You think, oh well, I'm gonna have a spaghetti bolognese. About the only thing really that we think to make with it. So yeah. So I thought, right, I'm gonna do it because we've had a nice lazy day. I'm gonna do it. And I'm so glad that I did. So I don't know whether I want to write something on my little thing here, or whether to just leave it. I'm just going to add some highlight to the windows here. I just think that looks a nice little bit of something. Oh, I like. I don't know why, but just adding a few highlights to things just makes me happy. I don't know whether these things would have highlights on them really, but I just think it makes them look really cool. So that essentially is that part finished as well. Alison, so sorry, what's happening? Petra, so Amy says, Petra, I can't wait to see your finished card. Absolutely, we definitely need to see that. Alison Jane Green says, be lovely if we could have a live online chat and craft along group, wouldn't it? Alison Chelsea says, yes, that would be really nice. And Amy says we can make that happen. So yeah, Amy and I have been talking about maybe doing some craft classes where we do them where it's not just me talking at you guys and you watching what I'm doing, but we actually do make something together, and I can talk to you and we can talk together and chat along together, which I think would be really, really cool. So yeah, so we've got some ideas of how we can make that happen. Have I frozen again? Are we still here? Oh, we're still there. Oh, thought we'd frozen again. So yeah, so keep an eye out for that. We've got a few things that we need to do to make that happen. One of which is me getting my brain in gear. But yeah, I think that would be such a good idea. That definitely, Alison. Lolly Dolly Craft says that you love lasagna, and Alison Jane Green says that the lasagna looks amazing. You're veggie, so I think it looked great. Well, if you want the recipe for it, then I can definitely share it with you. It was cool. It was so easy. I'll definitely be making it again, definitely. So Petra says she will show us her card tomorrow. You like pictures better when you take them in the daylight. No, I agree. Pictures are much better. So whenever I do a live, like this evening, I always wait until tomorrow morning to take my pictures, or the morning after to take my pictures, because the light is so much better in the morning, and they do always look that much better. So these are the two cards that we made tonight, and I'm really, really happy with those. I think they're really, really pretty. They're what I wanted to do. I've got some other ideas that I want to try out. So I might carry on doing those, or I might pop back maybe tomorrow. I've got an idea for a fall card. I want to use the pumpkins that are in this set here. So our little pumpkins here. But I want to use them along with along with the Woodland Critters set, perhaps, or maybe I like the idea of maybe our little Baked with Love critters. and maybe just mixing some of those sets together, along with our oval nesting dies to make a really cute little card. Maybe even a shape card would be a nice idea, using that oval. So yeah, so I've got some ideas to use those together. Um, so yeah, so I might have to come back another time and do that. I'm not going to commit to tomorrow, just in case I decide to have a little bit of downtime from crafting. But ants on nights again tomorrow, so who knows what we might do. I just need some inspiration for colours, I think. I want to do fall colours, but not typical fall. So, They could be baking a pumpkin pie, says Amy. Yes, they could, and I think that's a really cool idea. So yeah, so I do think that would make a really cute scene, wouldn't it? Lots of different ideas. Thank you so much for joining me and bearing with all our technical difficulties. I feel like it's been fairly successful. Might just mean a few little tweaks and things, and we'll see what happens. Amy says that I should have some time out from the job. Yeah, to be honest with you, I think today just having a little bit of downtime, making some food for us both, that has actually done me the world of good. We had a huge lie-in this morning as well. We didn't get out of bed until must have been 10 o'clock, which is not like us. So that's definitely done us the world of good. Petra says that she's used the style of your second card, Joe. I remembered that I have a stencil like that also. Ah, cool. So you can do something similar. This is it. You use your own stencils. You case someone's idea, but it comes out unique because you're using your own stash and you're doing your own thing. So it works out different. And it's really cool to do that. Alison says they're amazing. Amy says really like both of them, and I'm sucker for the Halloween colours. Yeah, me too. Petra says, love the cards you made. Thanks for sharing. Amy says it's been really good. Thank you. And Lolly Dollycraft says, love the cards. So cool. Thank you, guys. You are amazing. Thank you for joining me and keeping me company this evening. I'm going to go and make myself that cup of tea I promised myself, and see whether the cat wants to come in because she's been banging at the window. And I'll see you again for another live. If I don't see you before, we'll definitely be here next Thursday at 8 o'clock over on Facebook this time. So hopefully I'll see you all there. See you later, guys. Thanks so much. Bye now.